All right, get this hair. Hello, my friends, and here I am on a Wednesday to give you your new moon energy tap ins for this week. I hope you're well. It's been a bit of a crazy time. Tensions are high. Where's my thing here? All right, so again, moving into this new moon energy. And if there's something that you're kind of like, oh, I could use a little bit of guidance on this in my life, this area, just kind of hold that intention as I'm shuffling. I'm starting first with Christine. All right, Christine, you have protection, Lady of the Lake, and the Hawk. So, really massive emphasis on boundaries right now. Lady of the Lake and protection are like the most boundary. Well, if there was a cat also with this would be like the most boundary pull you could get in this deck, but still pretty damn close. These boundaries that you're creating now need to be looked at a little bit differently though. So, if in your mind boundaries have a certain tone, a certain connotation, they connect you to an energy that's just not what you want. Let's think of these boundaries as something different so that you can have a new experience with what is actually prioritizing you, centering your needs, centering your experience in a way that you haven't done before. So that's kind of where the boundaries come into place. So maybe centering your needs, maybe focusing on your heart space, like whatever it is that allows you to look at boundaries in a different way to shift your perspective, because that's going to help you. Also, you have Hawk, which is just you've been looking for a sign, here's your sign. Totally independent of the other two. All right, Christine. Shuffling now for Caress. Okay. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Oh, girl. Queen, mystery, death. So fun. Okay, let's see what's going on here. So, Queen, mystery, and death. So something is ending, obviously. I want to almost say like, wonder what's ending. It's a mystery, but it's not. I think you know like exactly what is ending here, because death card doesn't just kind of come out of nowhere. Do you know what I mean? Like death card is also, we're in Scorpio season. Just did you guys know that? And Scorpio season is all about the death card. So it's a really great time with this new moon to allow what is not yours anymore to no longer be attached to you. At the same time, something is happening that you don't really understand yet. And it's one of those like wait and see, trust the process kind of energies, which is frustrating. But at the same time, we've been through this a time or two, haven't we? I think you can trust the process, right? Because you know that it works. So let it work, no touching. And remember, this is how you need to be seated in your life, on your throne. Priscilla. All right, next up is Bobby. I don't know what she's trying to get, but she's like right outside my window on the porch and just like putting her scratchy nails on the siding. Oh Jesus. Now she's scaling the screen. Cats are completely ungovernable. You know this. All right, Bobby, let's see what's going on with you today. Oh my God. Okay. We're really getting some energies today that are very interesting for this new moon. So, Bobby, we have the king. We also have the lady of the lake for you and the goblin. Let's talk about these two things. King and the goblin together are an interesting pair. So, there is a it feels like a stubborn resurgence of a masculine energy within you that you don't love. Okay. It's a programmed energy, it's collective energy. It's a I should, I deserve, I am bigger than, more powerful than. And it's something that over, I think, your lifetime, you really like not leaned into, but it exists nonetheless. And however dormant it may be, it sometimes gets triggered, right? And right now it feels like that energy is being triggered a little bit. And what that means is it's an opportunity. So when you feel like, ooh, I don't really like this energy that's coming out of me right now, just remember this is an opportunity to give it a new job, to give it a new way of being in your life. And or maybe even to restructure it in some way. But either way, it's coming up for a reason. And usually this energy comes up because you have to make a decision, right? You have to be a choice, you gotta be the man. And this time, instead of being the man in the traditional way that you've been taught you need to be, the other option is to be the man like the lady of the lake. You don't push, you don't exert your will over others because they're coming to you and you simply stand your ground. You have deep, deep commitment to your values and your morals and the rules that have been set in place for you. And so all you're doing is upholding those boundaries, upholding those rules, upholding that way of being. You don't have to force it upon anybody. They just can't play if they don't play by the rules. Make sense? All right. Next up, we have Valerie. Oh my God. All right, Valerie. Whew. You've got to be kidding me. This girl is out tonight. Look at this. Valerie also has Lady of the Lake, Owl, and a nice scorpionic birth and rebirth. All right, so obviously we have to talk more about this, right? For everybody, apparently. I mean, we're not through everybody, but it's pretty significant. Again, boundaries, but even more that, it's just like standards, right? It's like a standard of living. It's you may have this feeling these days where you just can't people like you used to. And maybe like over time, especially since COVID, you've been peopling less and less and less. But right now, it's probably feeling like there are so few people that don't drain your energy. And how do you even find people who don't drain your energy at this point? You're going through another like growth spiral when it comes to connections and people. And whenever you go through a growth spiral, Usually something kicked it off, right? And it feels like something did indeed kick it off. A little bit of not playing fair. And you may not be able to call it out specifically. You may not be able to prove it. It's just a feeling that you have that somebody's just not who they say they are, not doing what they say they're doing. Trust yourself and create ways of being in this energy that align with who you are now, not who you were before. Again, it's changing all the time. And I don't think Scorpio season is going to be without a rebirth energy for many. But for you, this is all about those you let in your circle, the energies you let interact with your energies, and like how you want to restructure that moving forward. All right. Next up, we have Tiff. Okay, so you do not have the Lady of the Lake today, but you do have these two, which is fascinating. You have the stag and the deer. So you have the masculine and feminine version of deer energy. And then you have communication. So, wow, what a way to do. This is a dance right here, my friend. And it's all about presenting confidence while also being gentle and tender and um, what's the word? Diplomatic, right? In how you communicate, how you express yourself to people. So it's basically like you need to present, not present actually, allow yourself to be perceived as who you are. And that person is somebody who is both strong as a leader and gentle as a leader, somebody who knows the nuances, right? To you know when to push and when not to push. And that's kind of the energy we need here. But there has to be that confidence that's like overriding everything. It's like, yes, I'm supposed to be here. I am doing this. And as I'm doing it, if I need to be a little bit more diplomatic and like kind of tiptoe here and move my heaviness over here, then we will do that. But the overall vibe is that I am supposed to be here and it is good for me to take up space. And as I communicate what I need to communicate, that confidence is what's going to carry me through. Okay. All right. Next up, we have Catalina. All right. So we have for you, Kit, the Queen, the Earth Fairy, and the Butterfly. Okay. Again, Queen energy seated on throne. This is kind of an overarching theme tonight that I'm seeing is like don't like jump out of your physical space. Like stay in the present moment. You don't need to go chase anything right now, okay? Not a thing. And the Earth Fairy is all about usually it's about your body, physical stuff. But today this feels like a very spiritual whole, even though it could be taken differently. But today, that's what I'm feeling for you. And so it's really about how do you ground your energy? How do you tap in to earth energy, remembering that it may not be anymore through your feet? We have this idea, I don't know where it started or how it ends of grounding. And that grounding is through your feet and connects you into earth and roots you like a tree. That makes total sense for some people, for the tree people. But for those of you who are more aligned with height, um, distance, air, water, grounding is very different for you. And you will never be grounded like an earth sign. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, so what is your way of grounding? And grounding really just means, what does it feel like to be in your body, to find your way back to that space? And to take it a little step further for this particular purpose, how do you ground into earth energy in a way that actually makes sense for you, keeping in mind it probably isn't through your feet anymore. It's usually through here at this point. So checking in with that. And then this is just a reminder that no matter what is happening, what cycle, there are moments of beauty that you can pick up on and tap into. And those are gifts to keep you aligned with your highest path. So remember, it's almost like rock climbing. Think of the moments of beauty as the next rock that you grab onto, right? Keep you moving. All right, Allison. Oh my God. Can't make this up. You saw me shuffle. All right, Allison, you have protection, but you also have butterfly and the earth fairy, which is crazy. So for you, this message is actually the same. Those moments of like beauty are the things that you're going to be grabbing onto to keep you moving in the direction you want to be moving on your journey. And remember, as I don't know why we're doing rock climbing analogy, I promise you, I have never been rock climbing a day in my life. Okay. Never. No. But it's similar in that in order to get where you're going, sometimes you have to go back down, right? Like you're climbing up and across, but sometimes the foothold's not right. Up there, you have to kind of go down and like you have to assess where it is. And those beauty spots, right, that just pop up for you can be in so many different directions too. Same thing. Nothing is linear here. The protection is about your boundaries. And in particular, it feels like there is a particular person who is actually like starting to affect your physical health with their energy sucking techniques. And the reason that they are so good at this energy sucking technique is because like they kind of made a living off of it for most of their life, right? So they're trying to get that hit again. They're trying to get that source back, and you're the source. And it's time for you to just move away and make sure that you have that. It's not protection, it's just boundaries. It's like, no, you may not. Remember, boundaries are not boundaries if they don't include a consequence for someone who crosses them, right? So, like, if you say, please do not call me on Mondays between the hours of 3 to 6, I will be busy, and that person calls you again from 3 to 6, what do you have to do then? Do you say, okay, now we don't talk? Do you say, okay, now I won't be able to see you in person as you wanted? Like, what is it? There has to be a consequence that you enforce when that boundary is broken because it's not other people's job to do that, unfortunately. We like to do things ourselves anyway, right? All right, Julie. I have to say, the energy's really weird tonight. I keep like not knowing what day I'm in. And I know that seems like my everyday, but what I mean is like as I'm doing this transmission, I feel like I'm being pulled into different times. It's very strange. So I apologize if I'm a little weird. I don't think it's affecting the messages necessarily, but like that's what I'm feeling. I feel like I'm here and then it's like on Monday. Now I'm in Friday. It's very weird. Very, very weird. Never a dull moment though. Julie, you don't have any of the boundary cards. Swan, Grail Knight, and movement. All right. So the movement's been happening with you. I think there might have been a little bit of a layup for a minute. It feels like a little bit of like a pause, but you're back at it. And the movement is really like sometimes that means like a shakeup, you're moving, whatever, but it's not. It's a continuing on your journey that you had paused and really asking yourself this time as you resume, what is my what am I enjoying most about this journey in the present moment? And can that be enough? Because when the Grail Night comes around, it's one of those things where the end result isn't the point. The end result is how you get all of the experiences that make up a life. So it keeps you moving along a path that affords you the opportunity to have all of these varied experiences that if you had a different goal, you wouldn't necessarily have. Do you see what I mean? So just kind of ask yourself, am I being present for the really awesome things that are happening like now? Or am I really focusing on a perceived goal that I need to meet? As you ponder that, you're really opening up to your gifts, as they were. So, not too shabby. All right, and then bringing up the rear, closing tonight's chapter is Yvonne. Oh, okay. Let's see what that first one is. Oh, the frog. The frog, risk, and partnership. Whew. All right, so it is time to start cleaning out some stuff. Whatever you've got going on, it sounds like you've decided to take this risk on this joining of energies. Congratulations. In preparation for this joining of energies, it's time to clear out some old energies. So, this could absolutely mean literally clearing stuff, junk, things you don't need. And it also is a rearranging of objects. So don't take this too lightly. It's a big deal. Your physical space will create the container for what comes next. So put a lot of thought into it. Be playful, but put thought into it. Even as simple as like, moving a chair into a different location can make a huge difference in the way the energy flows in your space, which then makes a huge difference in how you utilize energy and how you feel in your space. So, really big things are happening with this. Is it still risky? Of course. Anytime you change things, it's going to be risky. What is it? What's the risk? It's not really risk. It's just how our brains work, right? It's all of our conditioning. Risk doesn't really exist if you think about it, because it's only risky if there is something that you perceive losing that you're not supposed to. And in this case, what is it that you could lose? Like, maybe ask and like workshop that a little bit, right? What makes this actually risky? Some people would say, oh, what if this person betrays me? What about this person would make them not risky? Any person could betray you. You know what I mean? So workshop that a little just to see what that risk means to you, but mostly clear that space. Hi, Suzette. That's it for tonight. So I will see everybody Friday morning. Oh my goodness. Good thing I always keep 5 beverages on my desk. I will see you Friday morning for Coffee and Magic. I'm sending you so much love. Mwah. Have a happy Halloween. Weird energy.